Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. If you like what you're hearing, hit the subscribe button, give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
You're listening to the Hockey Betting Podcast, presented by BetChrisCanada.net. This is the Hockey Betting Preview for Monday, March 2nd, 2020. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Hockey Betting Podcast, Brian Blessing.
All right, kids, here we go. It's a brand new week on the Hockey Betting Podcast. We're going to limp into it with only a couple of games on Monday. Then we get a bevy of action on Tuesday. Starting to really formulate opinions. Teams floundering, making a push. It's an interesting time of year. Brian Blessing in Las Vegas, north of the border. Our pally Cam Stewart. Cam will jumpstart the week Sunday. I'll tell you what, it was a great way to end the weekend podcast. We talked about those matinee games. Philly and the Rangers just had this knack of being high scoring. 6.5 was the total, ended up being 5-3. And then that was my play, and you were all over the Kings with a big shot against Vegas. Vegas 8-game winning streak. They can't all be home runs. Kings get the lead and hold Vegas off. Nice call.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, it was the biggest dog of the week, and I really liked it, and they came out early and often. It's just, that's what you're going to get. The problem is it's very hard to predict, when a team playing well is going to lay an egg. It's usually against a very bad team, and you talked about it too. That's the time to attack. It's a divisional game. If it was another team, Vegas would go, we show up. But the Kings, they had a burr in their saddle. They were pissed off. They look at this team. They're playing better. They have call-ups. A lot of guys are playing for jobs, and they basically dominated that game. Hell, Brian, if there was one more goal in that game, it would have been even better. Would have clipped a few more parlays. But a heartbreak on Sunday with Vancouver. But other than that, it was pretty good. No, but honestly, I will tell you this: Peterson stole the game. Vegas threw the sink at him, but LA got the quick lead, built it to 3-0. Vegas come at them, but once they had that lead, LA, they were able to hold them up. But the goaltender Peterson was terrific. But the point you made that was spot on is the Devils, the Blackhawks, the Ducks, and the Kings of the world. Yeah, they're done. They know they're done. But when they're taking on a divisional foe, they play hard, and they know these guys. It's so true. Leads us to the games tonight. There's only a couple, but Colorado. I don't know. No, the thing is, though, it's different. I can't take Detroit against Colorado, Brian. That's just digging for the big dog a little bit too much. I don't know, but you got an opinion of this one?
I'm double checking. See real quick. It is going to be Francouz and Bernier, two goalies that are playing really good. Total's only 5.5.
I like the under.
Yeah, you have to give kudos to these goalies. They're playing well.
Here's the thing, too. Colorado, and you brought up this point, which was a really astute one. Sometimes guys talk, and it doesn't mean anything, but when the coach talks and says, hey, we have so many injuries, we're going to play this type of style of hockey, and we're going to win low-scoring games, that's exactly what Colorado's done. Look at their numbers to the under. They're an under machine right now. Almost every game goes under with those guys. 5.5, 6, 6.5, whatever. They beat you 2-1, 3-1. That's what Colorado does. And I'll tell you, Detroit, if Colorado wants to lock down after scoring the first goal in this game, we could have a 1-2-0 game, a 2-1 game. 5.5 makes you want to look at the over. I'm looking at the under. Keep digging, Brian. Bring out the shovels. I'm going under at the Joe. 5.5 to plus money, too, which I like.
Well, I will say this to you. I'm going to do the zigzag then, and I don't disagree with that assessment. The only other thing I'd consider on the Monday night card is Edmonton at Nashville, and Nashville's in one of these over, under, and tonight would be the over with the Oilers. Listen, you still got Draisaitl, McDavid out there, and the Yamamoto injuries hurt them, but this Edmonton team, and they're just a gritty bunch, man. They beat the Jets 3-2 after having lost a couple in a row. They're what they've done? They've done a great job all year long of avoiding the big slide.
Yep. Very, very true, Brian. Very true. And I'll tell you something. We've been waiting for Nashville to get off the schneid. They're not. They are who they are. They're Nashville. I'm not laying minus 140. I think Edmonton at plus 120 to the over is a great way to play it. It's not going to be big unit night, but I like Edmonton plus 120. I'll ride your wave with the over 6. I could see a 4-3 type of hockey game, 5-3 type of hockey game. We get goals and under in Detroit. That's how I'm playing the Monday card.
All right. Like you said, I'll go the over in that game. I think there's gray areas. For me, I do think we can get over 6. Anytime you get McDavid and Draisaitl less than a 6.5, if I can get it to 6 and get the push, then I think I'm playing with house money. The one thing I wanted to mention real quick, though, it's amazing, just the jockeying for position. All of a sudden now, the Flames have moved into third. Vancouver having this great season, and all year long, the nice team heading the right way, long talent, think they'll be there, and maybe fall short. And it's getting eerily close to that for them. They're now a wild card team, but the Jets lost to Edmonton, but they're basically tied with Nashville, who's the wild card team. Nashville has the tiebreaker. The one that I think is going to be intriguing to me, that I think is an afterthought for everybody, is Arizona. But all of a sudden, if Kemper can get back in there, watch for Arizona to get back in the discussion. I mean, they're right there. They're tied point-wise with Nashville. But if Kemper comes back, I can see them, making it interesting down the road.
I got to tell you something. Vancouver made a big mistake, and it's kind of like taking that pitcher early. Demko was not very good against the Leafs in the first period. There were 4 goals. Yeah, how did that game stay under and burn me? I don't even realize. About 1 million posts, whatever. That's beside the point. You play the next game. You play the next game in Columbus, and you roll out Louis Domingue there. Guy was horrible down the stretch. Hey, guys, it's a goaltender. You still could play back-to-back games. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. And you know what? You should have put Demko back in. He was good against Toronto there. If he's in that game, they don't lose to Columbus. That's on you, coach. Louis Domingue should not be in any time. He should not be playing. Vancouver picks this guy up. You play him when Demko can't breathe. Other than that, you throw in him till the other goaltender, Markstrom, gets back. I think it's absolutely stupid. Horrible decision. The guy's horrible.
Hey, let me give you one generic one, things maybe just for the players to take note of. Went to the Sabres-Golden Knights game. Vegas gets the win. Buffalo had 1 million chances. Leonard played good. They hit a crossbar. But Buffalo's done, right? I mean, the 3-game road trip, they played great at Colorado, lost. Played well in Vegas, had a chance to win, and lost. But you know what they did on Sunday? Now they're playing back-to-back nights, and, of course, it gets baked into the price that they're playing back-to-back nights. And what I did, I played Buffalo in the first period plus like $1.45. Smart. And you know what? I would just say this to all our listeners. I think that's a thing that makes sense, because I said to our buddy Rochi, who was in town, and he said, should we come? You coming back with the Sabres tonight? I said, nope. I said, I'm playing them in the first period, because I think teams that play back-to-back nights, the travel, they get out there, the passing and everything's crisp, and they start well, and then they hit a wall. And Buffalo got a 2-0 lead and imploded, but cashed the ticket in the first period. So I just think about that, folks. When you're playing a team that's going to be a juicy dog on a second night of back-to-backs on the road, consider them as a plus price in the first period, because I think they start well and then fade.
That's an absolute I'm going to remember that. And all the people trying to get, the 2 goals in the first period, sometimes that ship has sailed because the juice just becomes unbearable. I think that's the way to attack it, Brian. Really good tip. If you look at that, you're right. All those teams took early leads and then faded down the stretch. I like that theory.
All right, buddy. That's Monday. I want to thank our friends at BetCris Canada. We love doing the program for you. Check out our site, betcriscanada.net, and it's a great joy for us to do this show as we move to Tuesday with St. Louis laying $1.41 at the Rangers. Cam, the one thing I would say here, we had the over in the Flyers-Rangers game. The punch to the gut, though, the Kreider injury really, really hurts the Rangers.
We called it, and we talk about it similar to golf. Birdie, 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 birdie. You don't get there. You make them. It takes so much energy to get close, and that's what the Rangers did. I took the Flyers in both of those games, Brian. They're hot. I don't know what Rangers team is going to show up to. They're better on the road than as a favorite. They're getting 16, 20 cents in this matchup against St. Louis. To me, St. Louis is the play in the game. I think the Rangers, eventually everything's caught up with them, and they're I'm not going to say they're going to tap out, but they look like a team that's totally defeated. I'd look at the over in this game too, but I'm not betting the Rangers. They made me a lot of money, but you got to know when to jump off the train. When it was good to you, now I have a feeling these guys are going to lose a lot of games.
All right. We've said this all year long.
Here we go.
We've said it all year long. Pittsburgh was I thought the story of the season in the first half of the year with all the injuries and all the winning. And then they go and put Evan Rodriguez on the team. Anyway, Pittsburgh, 6-game losing streak. And on top of it, they lose 5-0 to the Sharks, who are a train wreck. Now they're coming home, the first game from a 4-game Western road swing on a 6-game losing streak, and Ottawa's plus 260.
Here's the thing, Brian. I looked like a genius the night I was doing my live show. I'm with the guy. Guys, Pittsburgh. I told him, I'm taking Anaheim tonight. I look like a genius. Everybody in the chat was laughing because, Pittsburgh's a lock. But then, stupid me, I'm like, okay. Now they're playing San Jose. After that loss, I'll come back to Pittsburgh. What a stooge I was. And you know what? That game cost me so much that night. It was attached. I had round robin parlays, and I'm like, at the end of the night, I'm like, why didn't you take San Jose? Pittsburgh's an ice cold team. I'm going to take Ottawa. I don't care. I really don't care about anything that Pittsburgh's doing. You can beat them 9-0. I don't care. I'm betting Ottawa plus 260. Ottawa, please show up. Please show up in this game. I don't know what the hell's going on with Pittsburgh. I hate this team. I actually hate the Pittsburgh Penguins, to be honest with you. I never liked them. I like them even least now. They're costing me money. They're annoying. And you know what? Screw them. Go Ottawa, plus 260. Give me the Senators.
I don't. You got to swing at it. I mean, that angle's. It's almost play it blind, right?
How do I take these guys? What, are they going to turn a switch? How do you lose to the Sharks 5-0? You tell me. Their goaltending sucks. Murray's horrible. Jari's was hot. Now he's not good. Their defense is, they look awful. The forwards don't help. They look like the Leafs right now at the start of the year.
Isn't it the fun? I mean, it's 3 years removed from this, but I mean, don't you think Pittsburgh would love to have Marc-Andre Fleury there?
Oh, I know. It's funny you said that. I had a big discussion about that. Brian, you're reading my mind on when I was doing my shows over the weekend. That's what me and the guy were talking about. I'm like, you don't think they wanted to keep him when Vegas came around? You keep Fleury. I would have got rid of Murray.
Not only did they give up, they gave Vegas a second rounder to take him.
I know. What a bunch of morons. Anyway, Fleury, he's rejuvenated in Vegas. Hey, Ottawa is probably going to lose this game. That's why they're going to be close to a 3-1 dog by game time. You know what? I'm taking them. Screw it. One with LA playing that way against Vegas. I felt that game a lot more, like I really saw LA. But I don't know if Pittsburgh could just turn on the switch. Going to take a shot with the Senators, Brian.
All right, son. Let's go to Montreal and the Islanders. Isles laying $1.30. What is going on with this group? They are just not playing well.
This is where they turn it around. Montreal won. They almost screwed that game against Carolina with a 3-goal lead. Game went to overtime. Carolina was all over them, and then Montreal scores on a breakaway. Islanders at home got the news about the new arena, going to be play all their home games at Nassau. The governor's talking about it. Then a couple of years, Brian, nice. We should actually make a trip, me and you, to Belmont, bet some ponies, and go to an Islanders game. The Islanders will take care of business against Montreal. It's only 30 cents. This is where I'm jumping back on the Islanders to get it done. I think they will beat Montreal down.
All right. Monster game. Tampa Bay, $1.50 against Boston. And, I'm figuring the total will be 6 here. And I'm thinking, big game, statement. We'll see you guys in the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking defensive posture maybe. Stamkos is out. Man, you go look at Boston, though, recently. They shut out the Islanders, but the Islanders can't shoot it in the ocean. But Boston scored 4. They had a 4-3 win over Dallas, who plays the checking game. Lost 5-2 to the Flames. Lost 9-3 to the Canucks. Won 4-3 against the Flames. And Boston, at the moment, is in this kind of a dead over snap, and Tampa's got tons of talent. I'm thinking I might go over the total here.
I'm not touching the total in this game, but I will be touching the underdog. I think Boston, when I watched Tampa Bay play, when the Leafs beat them, they dominated them. They're still a very good team, but Boston's amazing. And you're going to give me 25 cents with the Boston Bruins. I will take it. I just think it's a good Boston, if they come to play in this game, which you got to believe when they're playing a team like the Lightning, I like the Bruins. Sign me up. Down, boy. More dogs.
Really?
I'm not laying 50 cents. I can tell you that. Give me Boston.
You call the gambling god Gambler, right?
Gambler, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I don't like Gambler.
Hold on. I know you don't. Hold on. All right. So you're a karmatic kind of guy, right? There's karma involved with this.
Is there? No, actually, I disagree.
Good.
No karma. Me and you are nice guys, and we get burned all the time.
No. I mean, it's good.
Wins and brags about his bets. No thanks.
Well, wait a minute. There's karma. There's bad karma, right?
Yes.
Right. We just got carved like a Christmas ham at the Bear Trap over the weekend in the golf tournament, and you're going to play the Bruins.
Yeah, but that bear has nothing to do with the other bear.
A Bruin is a
two separate bears. What?
It's a baby bear.
Yeah. He's a Bruin. Don't worry about it. Well, I'll let the bear. You keep the Bear Trap out of this. I like Boston as a dog. Plus 125. If Tampa wins and Boston screws that game up and Boston makes some big mistake, then you're right. I got to do something. Being the bear myself, I might have a fellow talk with the Bear family there. They shouldn't screw their own.
Buddy, I couldn't go near this game with a telephone pole. Winnipeg's $1.40 at home to Buffalo. The Sabres lost these 3 games on this road trip, and they played so well in Colorado, played well enough to win in Vegas, had a 2-0 lead and imploded against Arizona. But after the Arizona game, it was the day where in the room they all sat there like, it's over. Like this literally, it's over. The realization, it's over.
Oh yeah. No,
Eichel. They're saying they're not saying what it is. They're saying he's playing hurt, and they're in Buffalo. They're talking about, do you shut him down? Well, I can't go anywhere near this. I can't.
I can. It's a revenge spot. Winnipeg lost to Buffalo in Buffalo. Now they're at home. They played a decent game against the Oilers, pissed that game away. No, I don't even have to take puck line. It's still under 40 cents. Parlays and money line. If you want to play regulation, there's no juice. And if you want extra money, sure. If you want to play that way, Winnipeg minus 1.5, sure. I don't mind the juice. It's not like it's $1.80 or anything like that. It's $1.40 as by the time we're doing this show. I'm taking Winnipeg. I think they make a statement against Buffalo. Buffalo's, you know what? How much more can they battle and tap out? I think the gas is out of the tank. Give me the Jets.
All right. No, I can't.
Yeah.
I guess Buffalo's demeanor, I think it's over.
It is over.
But I mean, how bad is it? Is it officially, is there the game where it's officially over that they get drilled and then they're professional pride and they regroup and play okay? This game's just a weird one. The one I'll throw at you, Bud, Nashville at Minnesota. Minnesota laying $1.30. It's baked into the price. It's playing back-to-back nights. Oh, I've been talking on this podcast for a while now about Minnesota being an over team, and they are on a 5-2 overrun here. And if Nashville gets, worn down, as we just said, hey, Nashville in the first period because they're playing the night before, but I like the over in the game, thinking that Nashville maybe tired legs defensively, and the way Minnesota's been playing, they've been over games. I don't think you won't, no way you'll see a 6.5 in this game. It's probably 6. So I'd say Nashville in the first period and the game to go total.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I still like probably Minnesota. This game I'm going to have to think a little bit more about, but as of now, Minnesota, they almost came back and beat Washington. Minnesota's been a very gritty team ever since their first bad game against San Jose. They're playing great. Like they're scoring goals. Stalock has been good too, even when Dubik doesn't play. That was tough against Washington because they ran into a buzzsaw and they still almost won. I don't trust Nashville, Brian. I'm with you. I lean to the over in this spot, and as of now, Minnesota at $1.30 looks good to me. I think the Predators are overrated.
Yeah, well, the Predators are a very hard team to get a read on. This one's baked in the price. Dallas $1.75, $1.80 against Edmonton, and Edmonton again playing Nashville the night before. The one thing I would say here, I want to take a flyer, because I'm saying over in the Edmonton-Nashville game, and I want to take a flyer on the under in the second game with Bishop on the other side. Getting Smith on Monday night, and you're getting Koskinen on Tuesday. I have a lean to the under in this game. That would be about it.
It's a tough one, Brian. I'm also looking at Edmonton at plus 145. You give me Edmonton as a dog with Draisaitl and McDavid anytime, I got to consider it. As for Dallas, I prefer them as a dog, not a big favorite like that. I think that line's too rich. I'm going to look at Edmonton. Basically, what I'm telling you on this card is I like a lot of underdogs, except for a couple small favorites in the Islanders and Winnipeg. I will take a shot. I do agree with you on the under. I think Edmonton can play that defensive style of game and win a 3-1 type of hockey game, a 2-1 type of hockey game. Give me the Oilers. There's too much talent on that team to be plus 145, 150. It's crazy. That line is too rich for Dallas. I think the Oilers are dangerous. Give them to me.
Anaheim is at Chicago, $1.60 on the Blackhawks at home. Anaheim starting a road trip. Anaheim actually has been playing pretty hard here.
Except for the Devils game.
No, they spit the bit on that one. And they're not going to – it's not like they're making a big push or anything.
Exactly.
But the one thing about Chicago – some of these Blackhawk games are just insane. It's just, no defense up and down the ice.
Yep. Well, and you talked about it too. Despite the Devils game, Anaheim's been scoring more goals, right? I like the over. This is it. There's know what I've learned too, Brian? It's like in basketball too. Two bad teams not going to the playoffs. Let's put on a show. Whatever this total is, and I think it'll be 6, not 6.5. I like the over in this game. And I actually lean Ducks. You want to give me the Ducks at plus 130? I prefer the Blackhawks on the road. So we will do that. We will take that. Give me the over. Quack, 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 quack.
Another one, man. Jersey and Vegas. I'm 250 to Jersey. I think the best guess here for sure. Leonard's playing. He is a space eater, man. Watching the game, he is massive in the nets.
He looks like a lacrosse goalie.
Hey, Jersey and Vegas, I bet you the total will be 6.
Vegas is winning this game. They're not going to lose again after that Kings game. Isn't DeBoer going to read them the riot act?
No. They played okay. Cal Peterson really, was lights out. Hey, they were in an 8-game winning
I didn't think Vegas played very well against Buffalo, to be honest with you. They're lucky as hell. Know what I like? I like Vegas got a taste of their own medicine against the Kings. That's what other teams do to them, and they win all the time. Finally, luck caught up with them.
Buffalo, honestly, Vegas played better against the Kings and lost than they did against Buffalo.
Correct.
Cal Peterson stood on his head.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And as their first loss, they had an 8-game winning streak. They're going for a franchise record winning streak of 9. Punch to the gut, too. Mark Stone now. Oh, he's out week to week. We hope he'll be back before the end of the regular season.
He will.
But I think Leonard comes in. Every time Leonard's in there, he's trying to make a statement here.
Under?
No, absolutely. That's what I was going to say. I would lean to lower scoring. I'm assuming. What do you think? We see Blackwood here?
Yeah, it'll be 6 under.
Leonard or Blackwood? I would go under.
I'm with you. I think Vegas wins a real tight game. I like the under. I'm not laying 240. It might be parlayed, but New Jersey, they're a weird team. They've been showing up recently, man. They were great to me when they were big dogs. They're big dogs again. But I got to believe Vegas, they're going to show up. But under is the play in this game. You're right. And Fleury didn't play very well. Leonard could really step up in this game and gain some more confidence. I like it, Brian. I think you're onto something. Keep digging. Under.
But by the way, a little hidden footnote in here. It was like a big tumultuous thing in the offseason last year. Vegas rushed to get Nikita Gusev here for the playoffs, and Gallant didn't play him, and they didn't get out of the first round and never played him, and then they didn't sign him. So it's Gusev's first game in Vegas when everybody wanted him here. So that's a little side plot to that. All right. Toronto starts a Western swing against San Jose, laying $1.40 on the road. Yeah, buddy, this one's all you. I don't trust either one of these two.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something, and I don't play homer with the Leafs. I had the over against Vancouver that night. There were 4 goals in the first period, and the game ended at 6. And there were so many posts in the game, Brian. So when I texted you, I was on the air. I guess when you called me, I was doing a show. But I'm like, just text me back, Brian, because I needed some of your mojo to change mine. I had heartbreaking loss on the totals in that game. I will tell you this. Toronto, it's not a homer play. They're going to murder San Jose. San Jose's playing better. 5-0, though, in the last game that they played against Pittsburgh. Toronto understands what's going on. Florida is horrible. They've been playing horrible hockey. It's like they don't want to get into the playoffs. San Jose feeling good after a 5-0 win. Toronto's a better team. You're only laying 40 cents. Give me the Leafs. I'd like to bet it now. before that line goes up, and that is not a homer play. I really believe they beat the Sharks by 2 or 3 goals.
But the one thing, Cam, honestly, I mean, can you ever step up to the plate?
Yeah.
Now, no Muzzin. I mean, can you ever step up to the plate? There's no way you could ever say, I'm playing an under in a Toronto Maple Leafs game.
No, it's hard. That's why I was upset. The game versus Vancouver, Brian, I got 6.5, and it's 2-2 after the first period.
All right, how many goals? Let me ask you.
I'm like, they got one more each, and I win automatically.
All right, so how many goals? As you watch the game, forget box scores. You watch the game. All right, the final was 4-2. How many goals should have been scored in that game?
I think the Leafs should have won the game 6-4.
Okay.
6-5.
So the games prior to that, they won 5-3, they won 4-3, they lost 6-3. And you got a game where posts and whatever things happen in a game that should have been 6-4. Over. You got to play over.
I am playing over because the San Jose Sharks recently have been scoring a few goals. They got 5 on Pittsburgh. With Toronto's defense, I think the Sharks can get 3. I think the Leafs can get 6 or 7. I think the Sharks can get 4. I think the Leafs can get 6 or 7. So you know what? If I believe there could be 10 or 11 goals scored in this game, I'll definitely take the over at 6.5. Over.
All right. We're done. You know what? No, we're done. And you know what?
We go. We done.
No, but I was going to say, we'll do better Wednesday. I mean, the bottom line is, we did the games.
Yes.
It's fine. This is some weird weekend, right, man? I mean, we were too professional there. I mean, we got to be semi-idiots in this.
You're right.
I know.
There's no
I was worn down.
But I tell producer Mike, this is what happens. Second in golf, this and that. It's like after a while, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to crack a joke when you're thinking about lost revenues. So hopefully things go well and we can get back to our old selves again, Brian. I wish I bet the house on the Kings that night, but who the hell I'm betting against Vegas with so much money. You can't do it because Vegas is so damn good. Even though I bet on the Kings, it wasn't as hard as I wanted to go on it, right?
Well, listen, by Wednesday, go to the dollar store, get a new joke book.
You're saying we're being too serious?
No, we're too serious.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, we did what we had to do, but it's like, okay, normally we have a chuckle or two.
Yeah, we do. I don't know what it was, Brian. That's just a couple bad beats over the weekend really hurt me this time. Like I just can't keep on taking these punches and laughing about it. Sometimes they hurt.
Oh no, the golf. You and I were both right there in the golf, and it was like 80-1, 60-1. We're right there, and like second-itis again. All right, but the hockey, man. Listen, we love doing this. It's great fun. We will come back on Wednesday. Knock 'em dead. Think we got some nice prize plays for you there. There's your hockey betting podcast for Monday and Tuesday. As always, we thank everybody for listening. Love you, buddy.
Love you too. Blessing. Don't worry. We're going to get hit the dog kennel and some big winners, and we'll be back ready to rock, friend.
Here goes Rusty.
Here's Rusty.
Hey, folks, this is Brian Blessing. Hope you're enjoying the Hockey Betting Podcast. We have a couple chuckles, try to get you a lot of winners. Hey, we hope you like what you're hearing. And if you do, hit the subscribe button and give us a review, give us a rating. Most importantly, enjoy the hockey and keep coming back to the Hockey Betting Podcast.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At BetChrisCanada.net and the Hockey Betting Podcast, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.